Hi guys, welcome to Veganuary day 11. Wow. Today, sorry, I was so tired yesterday. I was supposed to film falafel for you guys yesterday. And I was gonna do it out of this book, Be a Plant-Based Warrior Woman. You can still eat it if you're not a woman. It was just written by the daughter of Dr. Esselstyn and his wife. So, very good book. Lots of great recipes in here, but let me get back to the story. I was going to film the falafel, and I was going to do the naan recipe, but not film it. So I was so tired after filming for Bad Rose D yesterday that I said, I can't film another recipe tonight, but we still have to eat dinner. So I wasn't going to make the falafel and not film it, so I still made the naan. And we had it with some freezer falafel. The naan was so good. It's going to be the star of the show today. We're doing the naan recipe. So, heart disease friendly. Make 6 naan. Their idea of naan, though, is very small. So it made 5 better sized naan that, like, you could eat, like, 1 per meal. So, very simple recipe. Let's get started. It didn't take a long time. Not much work involved. So we're going to go over to the mixer because that's where most of the action is going to happen until we start cooking. So come over here.
Sure.
Yeah, join me. All right.
It's dark.
I'm sorry. We're starting off with about a cup of flour. And I say about because you're probably going to have to adjust the flour anyway, depending on the temperature and humidity. My dad was a baker and he never measured anything in cups. He always weighed everything. So baking and cup measuring with dry ingredients, not so reliable.
Okay, what was that you just put in?
Oh, sorry. It's a half a cup of chickpea flour because we're going to pump a little extra protein into this.
Gotcha.
I don't have my maple syrup open yet, and room in the fridge is at a premium, so I have my agave already open, so I'm going to add a little squirt of agave in there for sweetness, and it also helps the yeast react. A little Himalayan salt. They said it's optional. I say it's pretty much necessary. That's about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon. We're also going to be using some baking powder because when this hits the pan, this is what's going to help it puff up like immediately. Like, we're going to make this so flat, but when we put it on the pan, you're going to see how much it's going to puff up. They say to use 1/2. I'm using a whole teaspoon. That's what I used last night, and the results were perfection.
Spectacular.
They were spectacular, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Yes. Then over here, I'm coming back, don't worry.
All right, all right.
I have some oat milk, but if you don't have oat milk, you can use any kind of non-dairy milk. This is 3/4 cup, and I already heated it up in the microwave for 15 seconds and let it sit because I don't want it too hot because that's going to kill the yeast. So I'm going to pour that in. We're also going to just chuck a bunch of yeast in there. They say 2.5 teaspoons. That's about 2.5 teaspoons. Or a packet of the instant rye, you know, the rapid rise. So we're going to turn this on and get this mixed, and I'll show you what we need to adjust when it's, don't forget to put your lock on, when it's done mixing, because if it's too wet or too dry, you're probably going to have to add a little flour or another drop of water or milk. Alright, have a look down here. So this is much wetter than I would like. This is way too wet. So I'm going to start by adding a couple of tablespoons of flour and remixing at a time. Because we want this to be a pretty dry dough because we're going to try and roll this out paper thin. Because it's really going to puff up. And I know regular naan has a little, you know, it's 3 C's thick. So I like mine a little bit thinner though because I like a bigger naan for the bang. Right, so the dough was really wet, so I had to add like at least another 1/4 cup. But this is the exact consistency you want. This is like Play-Doh, right out of the bucket. So I did dip it in the flour, and I'm kneading it a little bit. My ultimate goal here is to divide this into 6 balls of equal size. So you know the easiest way to do that is the rules of half. So visually half, then a third, then a third. So after you get all your balls measured, sorry, I'm still in preschool, roll them out, flatten them a little bit because this is going to help you later on, and put a little, dust it with a little bit of flour. And then we'll let it rest for about 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes have gone by, and our our little discs have pumped up a bit. So we're gonna start with one, stretch it out a little bit. That'll help with the rolling. Also, if you want to put down a little bit of flour. We're also going to start heating up our pan while we're rolling out. We're going to put it on medium-low. And we're also, excuse me, I'm still sick, putting in just a couple of drops of avocado oil. That literally was like 3 drops. And I'm going to take my brush and just, even though this is an excellent non-stick pan, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a brush. All right, I've got my trusty Pampered Chef one-handed roller, which everybody loves. My daughter asked for one of these for Christmas. She loves it so much. And we're going to get this as thin as possible without any holes. So this is going to be like the size of a salad plate when we're done. You might want to flip it over too in case it's sticking too much on the bottom. You want it to be loosey-goosey. You don't want it to be sticking to the paper. It helps if you go around in a circle like this and just try and bring from the middle out. Don't go like this, top to bottom. It's better to go from the middle out. Alright, that's like our target size. I'm pretty sure our pan should be ready. You know, it's like pancake rules too. The first one is always going to be...
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while that one is cooking, we're going to start rolling out the next one. You're going to get a little bit of a assembly line going here, but you don't want to not look at the pan when you're rolling out because sometimes they can cook pretty quick, especially the thinner they are, the faster they cook. So we're just going to keep an eye on that one. If you want to take a look over there, you could see that we're starting to get bubbles.
Bubbles.
And when we get a good sized amount of bubbles, it'll be time to flip it. You gotta get real good at rolling this out.
Yeah, you work that.
Stretch it out. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. It's basically the size of like a burrito wrap.
Hey, cat. What are you doing over there?
I'm on my ottoman. Alright, that looks like it's ready to flip. See the bubbles? Could have gone a little bit longer. We want to see more brown. But while we're still waiting, we'll put this one aside and get ahead of the game a little bit over here. And we'll start stretching out the next one. Need a little more flour.
Guess what I'm having for lunch?
Falafel.
I have some naan. I don't know about the falafel.
I mean, you could also put some hummus on there too.
Yeah, I could do that.
We have some beautiful tzatziki, which is what I found in the refrigerator. So I just flipped it back and this is how you want it to look basically. Make sure you don't undercook this because if you do, it's going to taste a little bit bitter because the chickpea flour really needs to be cooked. Otherwise, it'll have a bitter flavor to it. So this is the what we're aiming for. So let's check back when we feast. All right, Mark's getting ready to, no, he's not getting ready, he's doing it. So here's our beautiful stack of naan. They're nice and soft. They're thoroughly cooked. They're still warm from the pan.
Yeah.
So we've got some tuna here with a little bit of aioli, vegan aioli, of course. We have some falafel. We have some of our quinoa burger from the other day. We have pickled red onions, Cleveland Kraut brand, which we love. Some of the SD tzatziki sauce, vegan. Some hummus. You don't just need these to make like a sandwich. You could tear them up and use them to dip in the hummus. We have tomato, some spring mix. Oh, that looks so good. It looks so yummy for a perfect snowy day today.
Yes.
Let's see what Mark thinks. He did have this for dinner last night. Not the tuna, but he had the naan. Mm. Is it cooked enough? Mm-hmm. It's not bitter, right? Oh. Okay.
A lot of flavor there, you know?
Yeah, there is a lot of flavors there. It's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's cooked. But yeah, super simple. It doesn't have the oil in it. Of course I flopped it up. Sorry. Sorry, it's just a shirt. Wipe it off later. Super soft, super flavorful.
Very good.
Thank you. I was trying to say it's oil-free, except for the exactly 3 drops of oil that I got the pan started with. But it's good because a lot of the processed naan that you buy at the store has like partially hydrogenated, or like if it has a good oil in there, it's still oil. And that adds to the calories. And depending on how long it's been sitting on the shelf,
oh, yeah.
You don't want that oil to degrade.
Nope. So,
oh, it's so fresh. And that tuna's leaking all over the place because it's the lemon pepper one. I hope you guys give it a try. Check out this cookbook. I'll leave the link in the info box below. I don't get any money from putting up these cookbooks. These are my personal cookbook collection for the month of January. And these are all just cookbooks that I want to share at least one recipe out of for the month of Veganuary. So check them out. Let me know if you have them, if you've made other stuff from them. And we'll see you for Veganuary Day 12, which will be tomorrow. We're almost halfway there. Mm-hmm. Not really, but almost. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, much love.